I am Jamie Sumner, the author of the Roll With It series, and also most recently, Schooled. And I am so excited for you to meet Lenny and his friends in this book. So, to give you a little premise, Lenny, this is Lenny right here in the middle, has just moved with his dad to a college university campus. And it's set down in the South, and he's just moved from the East Coast. And it's just him and his dad because they've just recently lost his mom. She just passed away. And so it's just the two of them. And so Lenny basically has to start over in a new place. He doesn't have any friends yet. It's his first year of middle school. And so his dad gets the bright idea. His dad is a college professor. He gets the bright idea to sign Lenny up for an experimental middle school called the Copernican School. And it's him and a bunch of other professors' kids. And they are going to middle school on a college campus. And it's not a regular school. Like, they meet in campus buildings and they get to design their own research project. And they have like library days and therapy days and all sorts of stuff that you would not necessarily expect to have as your middle school experience. So what I'm going to read to you today is actually right when Lenny and his dad get onto campus to move in. So it introduces you a little bit to what Lenny is about to kind of go through. So this is them moving into their apartment. The elevator takes approximately 5 hours to ding, from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2, while we wait for it in the lobby. Then the marrieds, that's what Lenny calls the married couples because they're living in the married dorm because they're a family. Then the marrieds come spilling out. That's what I've decided to call them. The couples in our building with their crock pots and dish towels and Old Navy flip-flops slapping down the sidewalks. They barely break stride to veer around us as they march in and out with their boxes, jam-packed with stuff. Dad and I are two rocks in a river, sunk and stuck, while everyone else sails by. We could have lived off campus, gotten a tiny little house with a busted fence and funky-smelling closets. I wouldn't have complained. But no, Dad wanted community and inclusivity and some other itty word that was just another excuse for the two of us to be alone together as little as possible. All his students love him. He's great at small talk as long as it's not with me. Dad looks uncomfortable in the elevator. He's not good in enclosed spaces. And here we are inhaling the same foggy air as 6 other humans, 2 rabbits, and a potted plant. It's entertaining watching him try to breathe in and out only through his mouth. I keep my eyes on him so I don't have to look at anybody else. I'm an 11-year-old in a dorm. I don't know who's more out of place, me or the rabbits. The doors open on floor 5 and the rabbits and their owner exit. This will be how it is now, I think. I will be the kid who never fits in anywhere. I grip Mom's rug. If she were here, she'd know what to say. Actually, if she were here, we wouldn't be in this stuffy elevator in the first place. I close my eyes and picture her toward the end. When her jet black hair was so short, it looked like she'd buzzed it. Except it was the other way around, just growing back in. She's laughing and waving around a vinyl record at that place on West 4th when the owner gave her a secret discount because she went so often. Smile, Lenny, let the music move through you, she sings songs and pulls me dancing down the aisle. The elevator dings, and I open my eyes and blink until the tears shrink back. Smile, Lenny, this is our floor, lucky number 7. You first, buddy, Dad says. Buddy is a new word he's trying out, along with pal and kiddo and once sweetie. It's like we lost our interpreter now that Mom's gone. Now we have to invent a whole new language. I step out into the hallway under a fluorescent light that flickers and makes the skin on my arms look yellow. The carpet is a dirty orange and the whole place smells like a McDonald's play place. French fries and feet. Our house in New Jersey had wood floors that creaked and a tiny fireplace that smoked us out at least once every winter. I miss it so much it makes my teeth ache. 701, Dad mutters to himself over and over again, looking for his key to the gold numbers on the door as we shuffle down the hallway. All the way at the end, I spot our door, which someone appears to be setting on fire. Can we help you, Dad asked the fire starter, who, when we get up close, turns out to be a girl roughly my age. She is the only other kid I've seen since we got here. I immediately get nervous and then shift the bag of power cords from one hand to the other in case she waves and I need to wave back. But she ignores us. So much for community. We watch for a few more seconds as she continues to wave a smoky stick up and down and across the door. The elevator dings again in the distance. Ahem, Dad says, a bit louder. After one last up-down swipe, the girl spits on the end of her stick so that it sizzles out and turns. Hi, she says, holding out a hand, which forces Dad to put down a duffel and shake. I'm Hen. I live on the second floor. I was just smudging your door. A sage cleansing to start the year. Also, don't call me Henrietta, she says to me like I had any intention in speaking whatsoever. Hen, yes, you must be Dawn's girl. Dad is grinning now, happy to have found the method to this madness. Lenny, this is Hen. She'll be one of the other students in your class. Hi, I mumble, and forget to wave with my freed up hand. Hi back, she says. I study Hen from underneath the swoop of hair I spent all of 5th grade perfecting. She is all elbows and knees and impossibly long red hair that seems to move all on its own. If she were a tree, she'd be a weeping willow. She's wearing rainbow leggings and she's smiling, but her eyes say, don't mess with me. When Dad finally manages to fumble the key into the lock and creak open the door, Hen follows us in without waiting to be invited to complete her cleansing or whatever it is inside the apartment. Apparently, she tried to pick the locks with a bobby pin, but had had no luck. Otherwise, I would have been long gone by now, she adds, before stepping back out into the hallway. The cleansing works better if you have time to let it spread on its own before you muddy it up with your auras. All right, I say, as Dad squeezes past us towards the elevator to get another round of stuff. You're Lenny, she states, and because it is not really a question, I stand there with my hands in my pockets. She tucks her sage stick into her messenger bag and looks me up and down. I lean against the doorframe, trying to look both bored and cool, which is really hard to do when someone is staring at you like they can see into your soul. Well, Lenny, welcome to the Copernican school, she says before swishing her long hair over her shoulder. It should be an interesting experiment. And then Hen leaves, banging open the metal door next to our apartment and taking the stairs 2 at a time. So there you go. You've met Lenny and his dad, and you've met Lenny's first peer and fellow student, Hen. And don't call her Henrietta. So this is Schooled, and I have a little creative writing assignment. Well, creative thinking assignment for you if you want to take it on. So I told you a little tiny bit about the Copernican school. And I want you to think, you can write it down or just think it up in your head, whatever you want to do. I want you to think about what would be your perfect school. What subjects would you have? Would you have a recess? Would you have extracurriculars? Would you have regular lunchtime? Would you get to leave for lunch? Are there cooking classes? How long are their classes? How big are the classes? What do you get to do if you could pick anything in the world? And now I want you to think, what would be your perfect school? So that's your assignment. I hope you enjoy Schooled. Thank you for reading.